how are you all? I hope you are all fine at home. Okay children, before getting into the lesson, I'll ask you a few questions. Let me see your understanding about the word good and evil. Okay, now the first word good. What do you mean by good? Yes, fine, being good, being okay, well, all right. Okay, very good. And what do you mean by evil? Yes, good. Something bad, wrong, sinful, all this, right? Okay, children, very good. So you have some idea about what is good and what is evil. Okay, now we'll enter with the lesson. The name of the prose is Good for Evil. Repeat it, children. What's the lesson? Good for evil. Okay, so here we have two characters. Okay, one is American farmer and the other one is Red Indian. Okay, so before going into the lesson, we shall see the hard words. So here we have got 7 words. We'll see the meaning of the words. The first one, prosperous. Prosperous means rich. The second one, farmhouse. Homes built on agricultural land. Third word, be off, go away. Fourth one, idle. Idle means lazy. Fifth word, muttered. Say something in low voice. Wonder. What do you mean by wonder? What or move. Seventh word, relieve. Relieve means extending out. So we shall see it again. Prosperous, which means rich. Farmhouse, homes built on agricultural land. Be off, go away. Idle, lazy. Mutter, say something in low voice. Wonder, what or move. Relieve, extending out. So we have seen the hard words. Okay, now let's get into the lesson. Okay, it will be very interesting. So here I have already told you that we have two characters, right? One is American farmer and another one is Red Indian. So here we have got the picture. He is Red Indian. Okay, and this one American farmer. So you can have look at these pictures. So here, one evening, an American farmer stood at the door of his farmhouse. He looked happy and prosperous. So here, in one evening, the American farmer who is standing there, he was standing out of his farmhouse and he looked so happy and he is prosperous. What do you mean by prosperous? Prosperous means rich, right? So he is so rich and happy. Just then, a Red Indian came slowly along the road. Seeing the farmer, he asked him food as he was very tired and hungry. So, the American farmer was standing out of his farmhouse and he is so happy and rich. What happens? Just then, a Red Indian is walking along the road and after seeing the farmer, he is coming to him and asking for food. He is asking food because he is so tired and hungry. So, he is coming and asking the American farmer to give him some food. What happens next? Go away, you lazy fellow, said the farmer rudely. I have no food for men like you. So, the Indian is asking some food to the American farmer. What is he saying? Go away, you lazy fellow. So, he is shouting rudely and he is chasing that man out. And what is he saying? I have no food for men like you. He is saying that I have no food for men like you. So later, please give me a glass of water at least, said the Indian. I am really thirsty. So after that, what is saying? At least please give me a glass of water because I am so thirsty. So he is requesting the American farmer to give at least a glass of water because he is so thirsty. Okay children, we shall read it once. One evening, an American farmer stood at the door of his farmhouse. He looked happy and prosperous. Just then, a Red Indian came slowly along the road. Seeing the farmer, he asked him food as he was very tired and hungry. Go said the farmer rudely. I have no food for men like you. Please give me a glass of water at least, said the Indian. I'm really thirsty. Okay children, so far what we have seen is that this red Indian is requesting at least a glass of water from the American farmer. Even after his request, this American is refusing to help him, right? So what happens next? He is chasing him away, and this red Indian, he is so sad and he walks away. And after that what happens? This American farmer is muttering to himself that these beggars, they never let anyone rest in peace. So he is muttering this into himself. Okay, next we shall see what happens in the lesson. And before entering into that, we shall see the hard words. Okay. First one, gladly, which means happily. Second word, hesitate, which means unwillingly. Mattress, bed. Fourth word, clearing. Clearing means an open space in the forest. Okay. The fifth word, track. What do you mean by track? A path. Okay. The last word, recollect. Recollect means to remember. Okay. Recollect, remember. Okay. We shall see it again. Gladly, happily. Hesitate, unwillingly. Mattress, bed. Clearing, an open space in the forest. Track, path. Recollect, remember. Okay. Okay. We shall see the further lesson. Okay. Some days later, the farmer went into the forest to hunt but had no luck. When night fell, the farmer lost his way. He wandered hither and thither in search of food and water. So what happens here? This American farmer, one day is going into the forest for hunting. And there he had no luck, he got no food and he lost his way. And what happens next? He was going here and there in search of the way, but he could not get he could not find his way. So what happens? He is helpless now and he is so hungry because he didn't get anything to eat in the forest. Okay? Next what happens? He was relieved to find a hut where a red Indian was standing at the entrance. So he was searching for the way here and there. Here, hither and thither means here and there. Okay, so he was searching here and there for the way, but he couldn't find. After that, what happens? He was led to find where a red Indian was standing at the entrance. So the farmer is finding a red Indian who is standing out of his door. Okay, so he is so relieved. He is happy that he has found someone to get help from him. Okay. Next, the Indian provided him food and spread a mattress for him to sleep on. So he has found a person who is that red Indian, right? So he's going to him and asking for help. He is explaining that he has come to the forest and he has lost his way and he is so hungry and he is asking help to the who is that red Indian. So he wants him to show him the path to go to his farmhouse. And what happens? That red Indian is so kind and polite and he is lending help. So what he is saying that, okay, this is now the red Indian is ready to help the farmer, right? So he is asking the farmer to sleep at his hut this night because it is so dark as he cannot find his way. So the next day he said that he would show his way to the farmhouse. Okay. So the red Indian provided him food and spread a mattress for him to sleep on. So what happens? The Indian is providing him food. He's so kind, isn't he? He's providing him food to eat and then he's spreading a mattress for him to sleep on. What do you mean by mattress? Mattress means bed. So this red Indian is so kind that he's spreading a mattress for the American to sleep on. So next, in the morning, the Indian gave him a good breakfast and prepared to show him the way out of the forest. So now it's morning time. The red Indian is giving him a good breakfast and prepared to show him the way out of the forest. So he's preparing to show him the way out of the forest. Then at last they came to a clearing. The Indian showed the farmer the way to reach his farmhouse. So at last they found a way, they have come to the clearing. Clearing means here an open space in the forest. So they have come to the open space and the Red Indian showed the farmer the way to reach his farmhouse. The Red Indian is showing the farmer the way to reach his farmhouse. Okay. Now all along the way, the farmer had been thinking that he had seen the Indian before, but he could not recollect where and when. So all the way what's happening, this farmer, this American farmer is thinking that he has seen this Red Indian somewhere, but he could not recollect where and when. So he was thinking, okay, this is what we have seen so far. I should read it once, okay. Some days later, the farmer went into the forest to hunt but had no luck. When night fell, the farmer lost his way. He wandered hither and thither in search of food and water. He was relieved to find a hut where a Red Indian was standing at the entrance. The Indian provided him food and spread a mattress for him to sleep on. In the morning, the Indian gave him a good breakfast and prepared to show him the way out of the forest. At last, they came to a clearing. The Indian showed the farmer the way to reach his farmhouse. Now, all along the way, the farmer had been thinking that he had seen the Red Indian before, but he could not recollect where and when. Okay children, we have come to the last part of the lesson. As he was saying goodbye and thanking the Indian for his kindness, he said, "If I am not mistaken, I have seen you before." So here, I have told you already that American farmer, he was thinking that he has seen this person, who is that Red Indian. He has seen that person before, but he is not recollecting where he saw him, where and when, okay. So he is saying that when he was saying goodbye and thanking him, so he has helped, right? The Red Indian has helped the Indian farmer by giving him food and giving him place to sleep. So he has given a place to sleep on his hut, right? So after that, he has showed him the way to go to his farmhouse. So what he is saying, when he is thanking that Indian, he is saying that, "If I am not mistaken, I have seen you before." Okay, let's see what happens next. "Yes," replied the Indian, "you have. Don't you remember that some time ago you turned away a tired and hungry Indian from your door one evening?" So he is asking that Indian is asking that, "Don't you remember that evening you turned away a Red Indian from your door?" So next what happens? The farmer was silent. He felt ashamed of himself. "I'm really sorry I did. I'll never ever treat a poor traveler like that again. You have returned good for evil and taught me a lesson I will never forget as long as I live." So here, after hearing that American farmer is ashamed. He was just silent. After hearing the reply of Red Indian, he was just silent and he was ashamed. So what happens? He says sorry to the Red Indian. "I'm really sorry for what I have done. I will never ever treat a poor traveler like that again." So he's promising that Indian that I will never treat a poor traveler again because you have returned good for evil. So here, good for evil. Who has written good for evil? That Red Indian. Here, this Red Indian has written good for evil. Who has done evil? That American farmer, right? He did not help the Red Indian when he asked for help. He was so tired and he was hungry, but he did not give food. Who didn't give food? That American farmer, he didn't give food. He just chased him away, right? So, after this incident, that American farmer is feeling ashamed and is thanking the Red Indian for teaching him a lesson. So, you have written doing good for evil. He has done good. The Red Indian has done good for the American farmer who has not done good for the Red Indian. Then he said that you have taught me a lesson which I will never forget as long as I live. So this Red Indian has taught the American farmer a lesson which he will never forget as long as he lives. Okay children, I hope you have understood. So from this lesson what we come to know, we learn that even if someone does bad thing for us, we should not do the same to them. We should forget it and in return we have to do good thing for them. Okay. So in the lesson we have come across that American farmer did not help that Red Indian, right? But in return, when the American farmer was in need, when he was lost in the forest, when he wanted food, this Red Indian was so lovingly and he was so compassionate towards the American farmer, so he helped. He gave him food and he asked him to stay in his hut. And in the morning, what he did? He showed him the way to go to his farmhouse, right? So here we have a recap once again. Okay children, before that I have to ask you some questions. Have you ever come across a situation like this? Have you ever helped someone who was in real need? Yes, you might have, right? And have you ever gone or received help from others when you were in need? Yes, that would have also happened. So in our life, both good and evil happens, right? So we also receive help when we are in real need, and also we tend to help others, right? Okay, so here we have a short recap. So we have this Red Indian, okay? So what happens? Here we have the American farmer. Can you see this? This is the American farmer and we have Red Indian. So I'll tell you the story again with this. Okay children, we have a short recap of what we have seen so far. Okay. So here we have Red Indian and an American farmer who is standing here. He is standing in front of his farmhouse. Okay. So he is a rich and prosperous person, right? So he has a farmhouse and a good house and animals, all that. So he is a rich and prosperous person. And one evening what happens? This Red Indian is walking along the way. He is so tired and hungry. So he wanted to get some help from this American. So he goes and asks if you can give me some food. But what happens? This farmer is not ready to help and is yelling at this Red Indian. He asked him to go away. He was so rude that he asked him to get away. What did he say? Go away, you beggar. That's what he said, right? So he's chasing this person away. And after that, what happens? This Red Indian is requesting him, I'm so thirsty. At least can you give me a glass of water? Even after his request, this good farmer was not ready to help, isn't it? So what happens? He was so sad and he turned away and he walked back. Then what happened? This is completed. The next thing what happened? Some days later, this farmer, this American farmer, he is going to the forest for hunting, isn't it? So he is going to the forest for hunting, but he had no luck. For his bad luck, he got nothing. He got no food and he lost his way. As it was dark in the night, he lost his way. He did not remember the way to come up to the forest. So what happens? He was moving here and there. He was going here and there in search of food or the way, but he couldn't find anything. So later what he found? He found a house of a Red Indian, isn't it? So he went to the Red Indian and asked him whether if he can help me to find the way. What did this Red Indian do? He is so polite and kind to him and he offered to help him, isn't it? He told him that this is so dark at night, so you stay in my hut and I'll give you food and in the morning I'll show you the way. So that's what this Red Indian told to the American farmer, right? So he's so kind. So in the night he gave him some good food and he laid a mattress for this American farmer to sleep on. And in the morning, they were preparing to show the way, right? So this red Indian, he prepared the way to show him to to the farmer to go to his farmhouse. So it is in the morning, they are all going to the clearing. Clearing means a open space, right? So this red Indian is showing the way to to the farmer that if you can go along this path, you can find the farmhouse. So after that, what happening? This farmer, he is thanking this red Indian for his kindness and the help he offered. And all along the way, this red Indian was thinking that he has seen this red Indian somewhere, but he could not recollect where and when. So he was just thinking all the way, and he asked, when he finally thanked this person, he asked, if I'm not mistaken, I have seen you somewhere. This red Indian is answering that, yes, you have seen. Don't you remember that in one day, one evening, you chased away a poor red Indian who was in need? So this American, he was so ashamed and he was sorry for what he has done. So he was just silent and he asked sorry to this Indian that I have done bad for you, but in return you have done good for me. So you have returned good for evil. So this is a lesson for me. I will never ever treat a poor traveler again. So this is a lesson. As long as I live, I will remember this. That's what the answer given by this farmer, right? So by this we end the story. So we have come to learn that in case we receive some bad things or evil, in return we should give only the goodness or the good, okay? As how this red Indian has done to this farmer, okay? Okay children, we shall see the home assignment activity. So for your home assignment you have got, write the question and answer in your classwork module. So this will be sent to you through PDF, right? So you have to copy it down in your classwork module. For your activity, write about a situation when you had helped someone in need. So your activity is, you have to recall and write about a situation when you had helped someone in need. Okay, you write it in a A4 sheet paper, take a pic and then send it through WhatsApp. Okay children, thank you.